Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're exploring a seriously dynamic threshold on the map, a place where the vast ancient grassland culture seamlessly collides with the dense historical weight of Chinese civilization. We are looking at Hohhot, the capital of China's Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region. And let me tell you, this is a city that's so much more than just a dot on a map, it's a living, breathing crossroads.
Before the desert begins, the grassland opens. Wow, just let that sink in for a second, right? This phrase beautifully captures the cinematic, awe-inspiring tone of our journey today. We aren't starting out in the arid wastes. No, we are starting right on the lush green threshold of the steppe.
So let's dive right in with a pretty massive question. What happens when an empire of nomads builds a city? It kind of sounds like a contradiction, doesn't it? I mean, nomads are meant to roam, to follow the water and the grass. But Hohhot completely reveals that China's northern frontier was never just some rigid boundary line. It was a vibrant meeting place, literally a crucible, where merchants, monks, nomadic peoples, and imperial governments shaped one another over centuries.
All right, Section 1, Gateway to the Steppe.
Our story actually kicks off with the founding of this remarkable gateway by a man named Alatan Khan. Now, he was a 17th-generation descendant of Genghis Khan himself, and he made this monumental decision to anchor his nomadic tribe right here. He built a permanent settlement and named it Hohhot, which translates to the Blue City. And its geographical placement? It is an absolute feng shui treasure. It's shielded by the imposing Yinshan Mountains to the north and anchored by the mighty Yellow River flowing to the south. It gave them water, shelter, and a highly strategic vantage point for a brand new urban center.
Moving on to Section 2, the spiritual heart of Hohhot.
You see, Alatan Khan didn't just build walls and streets. He invited living Buddhas from Tibet to come and preach, which completely transformed the region's spiritual landscape. The Dazhao Temple, or the Temple of the Infinite, perfectly embodies this fusion. Just look at the roof. It's adorned with these golden glazed tiles, which was a very rare architectural privilege, symbolizing that this is an emperor's royal family temple, specifically honoring the Han Emperor Kangxi. But then you step into the courtyard and you're suddenly surrounded by its Tibetan roots. We're talking traditional Tibetan-style prayer wheels, stunning thangka paintings sunning in the courtyard, and the sound of chanting lamas. It is a brilliant physical mashup of empires.
And this fusion definitely didn't stop at Dazhao. Just down the road is the Five Pagoda Temple. Look at this number on the screen, 1,660. That is the exact count of intricate, beautiful Buddha stone carvings adorning the Vajrasana stupa at this temple. Every single inch of this stupa is covered in these meticulous carvings. It's an absolute masterpiece of religious devotion.
Now, carved right alongside those 1,660 Buddhas is the Diamond Sutra, and it's inscribed in 3 completely distinct scripts: Sanskrit, Tibetan, and Mongolian.
So why does this matter?
Well, it serves as a physical, stony testament to the massive movement of religious ideas and diverse people across Asia, all converging right here in this one blue city.
Okay, let's get into Section 3, the culinary wonders of Xianbei.
From the serene, incense-filled air of the temples, we're zooming right into the chaotic, sizzling energy of Xianbei Street. The local diet here perfectly mirrors the region's diverse history, though let's just say vegetarians might find it a bit challenging. On the left, we have the ancient pastoral dairy traditions of the Mongols, thick, salty milk tea and chewy baked milk tofu, stuff literally designed for survival on the harsh steppes. Contrast that with the Hui Islamic spices on the right, steaming hot mutton shomai dumplings, ice-boiled mutton, and sizzling, heavily spiced skewers. It's this beautiful, high-calorie marriage of 2 distinct culinary pillars that completely sustain the local population.
And you really have to understand the sheer craftsmanship of their dairy. Take Naipi, or milk skin, for example. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's the rich, roasted essence skimmed straight off the top of boiling fresh milk. Now, it starts off deceptively flavorless, but as you chew, this deep, rich, creamy milk essence just explodes in your mouth. Whether it's eaten plain as a snack like the nomads did, or baked fresh right on the street, this simple dairy product is a direct, incredibly delicious link to ancient nomadic survival.
But food here isn't just about street snacks, right? It scales all the way up to grand traditions. Have you ever heard of the Zama feast? It's known as the world's first banquet and represents the absolute highest standard of traditional Mongolian feasting. True to nomadic customs, the menu focuses strictly on beef and mutton, complete with highly ceremonial mutton cutting. It's fascinating to see how those everyday mutton skewers on the street link directly back to these ancient, high-status nomadic royal traditions.
Which brings us to Section 4,
Treasures of Nomadic Empires at the Inner Mongolia Museum.
Food tells us how people live today, for sure. But to truly understand the soul of this region, we have to look at the empires that built it. Over the millennia, this land was literally a continuous engine of history. It was the main stage for a succession of incredibly powerful nomadic empires, starting with the fearsome Xiongnu Empire in the 3rd century BC, who famously clashed with the Han dynasty. Then came the Xianbei state, the massive Turkic Khaganate in the 6th century, and eventually the world-conquering Mongol Empire in the 13th century. This frontier was constantly driving massive change across the globe.
And out of all the artifacts left behind, this right here is the absolute crown jewel. It is the only surviving physical Xiongnu gold crown ever found in China. Look closely at the imagery described here. An eagle overlooking a wolf, which is in turn eating a sheep. This isn't just decorative, you guys. It is the ultimate symbol of the harsh, beautiful, and raw grassland ecosystem. It perfectly encapsulates the entire worldview of the nomads who ruled this frontier.
Finally, Section 5, Steppes and Volcanic Peaks.
Leaving the confines of the city and the museums behind, we step out into the endless, breathtaking green of the Ordos grassland. Out here, tradition is everything. When you arrive, you are immediately greeted with the dismounting wine welcome ritual. It's this beautiful 3-step process. First, you dip your ring finger in the wine and flick it up to toast the heavens. Second, you flick it down to respect the earth. And finally, you touch your forehead to honor the ancestors. This isn't just a party trick. It really showcases the deep, enduring reverence these nomadic people have for their vast, unforgiving, yet providing environment.
But hey, the grassland isn't just flat green plains. Picture this. You're standing as a lone traveler under a deep blue northern sky. And suddenly, a prehistoric landscape rises abruptly from the earth. These are the jagged, dark cones of the Wulanhata volcanic field. It is a dramatic, highly cinematic visual that reminds us of the raw tectonic power that shaped this incredible region long, long before the empires ever arrived.
So from the volcanic earth to the golden tiles of Kangxi, and from the spicy mutton skewers of Guangxiangxi to the ancient gold crowns of the Xiongnu, Hohhot is an absolute masterclass in how civilizations meet, clash, and blend. It leaves us with a really fascinating question to ponder. When cultures collide at the edge of the world, where will your frontier begin? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep exploring, and I'll see you next time.